is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
Today, we are discussing A Grand Ole Opry Christmas, which originally aired on Saturday, November 29th, and is currently available to stream on Hallmark Plus, and you should stream it.
Spoiler
alert. I'm really tempted to be like, that's the episode, folks. Go watch it again.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny you say that, because I was like, oh, wouldn't it be funny for like 5-star, no notes? Thanks for listening.
Bye. Hey, you should follow us on the socials, especially on Instagram. I posted a really funny Instagram post.
Yeah, you did.
Stories last night. Made myself laugh. My husband and I laughed about it.
I laughed too.
You guys are missing out if you're not following us at Girls Gone Hallmark. And we are Girls Gone Hallmark on Facebook, on Blue Sky, on Threads, wherever you like to spend your time. On TikTok. Just check us out. Girls Gone Hallmark. Let's hear a synopsis of A Grand Ole Opry Christmas.
Gentry Wade, who gave up music after her father's death decades ago, must confront her past when Nashville's Grand Ole Opry invites her to honor her late country star dad at their Christmas celebration.
Claire Niederprum directed the film. She has 21 total directing credits, and Hallmark viewers may know her work from Mystery Island House Rules, Villa Amore, and Savoring Paris.
The script was written by Hilty Bowen and Tracy Andreen. Hilty has 5 writing credits, including The Beach Read Murders and Living with My Mother's Killer. Those are so opposite of this movie. Tracy has 39 writing credits and also wrote Christmas at the Catnip Cafe and A Keller Christmas Vacation for this year's countdown to Christmas season. Tracy Andreen out there working.
Having a big year. Christopher Palaha stars as Mac. He has 95 acting credits and 3 upcoming projects, including the film Mimics, which he also directed, as well as American Hostage, a scripted podcast adaptation for MGM+.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Nikki DeLoach plays Gentry Wade. We recently saw her in Home Turf in October, and she will also appear in the next 2 installments of the True Justice mystery franchise.
Sharon Lawrence plays Rita. This is her 121st acting credit, and she has 3 additional projects currently in the works. Hallmark viewers last saw her in the Christmas House movies. Since then, she has appeared in the series Dynasty, Joe Pickett, and Walker.
Rob Mays plays Jet Wade. This is his 63rd acting credit and appears to be his first appearance on Hallmark. He also appeared in a movie called A Christmas Murder Mystery and The Beach Read Murders.
Eliza Hayes Maher plays young Rita. Eliza has 18 acting credits and has appeared in all 3 of the Haul Out the movies. She was also in Hidden Gems and Taking the Reins on Hallmark. James Denton plays Vaughn Winters. James is a regular on Hallmark, having appeared in 75 episodes of The Good Witch, as well as movies like A Kiss Before Christmas and Christmas on Cherry Lane. This film includes numerous cameos from Bill Anderson, Brad Paisley, Daly and Vincent, Drew Baldridge, Jamie Johnson, Maggie Baugh, Megan Maroney, Mickey Guyton, Pam Tillis, Rhett Akins, Riders in the Sky, Susie Boggess, Tiger Lily Gold, and T. Graham Brown. We are going to take a quick break and come right back with our first impressions. Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of A Grand Ole Opry Christmas?
Oh, we got a top tier countdown to Christmas contender on our hands.
The bracket participants should be quaking in their boots.
If we even do it. Okay, go ahead.
Listen to our listener mailbag episode this week. My first impression is make room on that 5 stars, no notes bench, Ted Cooper.
For sure.
What did you like about this movie?
Look, the heart of this movie is not the romance. The romance was the cherry on top.
Yeah.
For me, it's the dad and daughter story, and I cried the entire time.
No, me too.
The scenes between Gentry and her dad, especially when they're like writing the song together.
Yes.
And then we see Mac like filming it, which God, I love that. These scenes gutted me in the best way. Mm-hmm. mostly because she had been plagued with these questions from people, from fans since his death. What happened to your dad? Why did he stop writing? And she didn't know the answer. And like, what an incredible story to tell. I just thought it was so unique and good.
Like he chose me.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, that final scene with him where she's basically saying goodbye and she's kind of giving him permission and reaffirming his choice.
Yeah.
To leave the duo, leave music and go be with his family. And it's so touching. And there's part of me that will always be like, no, I want him to know who you are. I want him to see like it was worth it because look who she became. But it's so touching, and she hugs him. Oh my, I was weeping.
Were you really?
Oh yeah. When yes. They just connect. They get each other, and she gets what she needed in that moment.
Yeah. I agree.
I want to say, I talked about this in our Pop Culture Club episode on Patreon, where we talked a little bit about Hallmark this week. But I said there, in spite of this movie having all of the perfect ingredients for a recipe for success, Chris, Nikki, Tracy, Claire, I wasn't looking forward to this movie. I'm a 90s country fan, and I wasn't excited about it. And I can't fully put my finger on why. And when my husband sat down to watch this movie, he made a face like, all right, we were both very wrong. And I knew before watching, based on the first impressions we were seeing on Instagram, that I would be wrong because enough people were raving about this movie.
Oh, that's interesting, because I thought maybe they were just, I'm a Palaha fan. You know this, but I thought maybe we were just getting a heavy influx of big fans of Nikki and Chris. And they're like, oh, of course, we love it.
Sure, that could have been a piece of it. But for me, I watched this a full day after it came out, and there wasn't a single negative review in the bunch. And so I went in feeling like, all right, we may be in for a good time. And halfway through the movie, I paused and turned to my husband and said, isn't it better than you anticipated? And he was practically in tears also. He goes, especially, he really loved the father-daughter moment.
Yeah.
Them writing songs together.
Yeah. 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 I don't say this lightly. I was fully invested from start to finish. You know me, like Hallmark movies lull me to sleep sometimes. Sometimes like I just tap out and like I'll scroll on my phone and then realize the movie's over. Like it happens time and time again. Like I was in it. I was really in it. I love a time travel twist. I think I've said it before. A Biltmore Christmas is one of my favorites. Obviously we have Chris in that movie he's so good and charming.
How does this hold up to A Biltmore Christmas for you?
It's equal. It's different.
Right.
The time travel part of it here, I love the genre, which, and I don't say that lightly either, because you know me, like I hate science fiction type stuff.
Right. It's not like 1.21 gigawatts science fiction.
You're right.
Even though that's
right.
not really science fiction either.
So I'm always now drawn to like any kind of Hallmark movie that has a time travel element to it. But this one here, what I liked about it is that we get both Gentry and Mac traveling back together.
Yeah.
And there's something really satisfying with them being like partners in crime and mutually confused, mutually enchanted, mutually terrified at altering the timeline. Like that they're having this shared experience together and not operating alone.
Yeah, when he time travels, I was relieved for her.
Yeah,
like
me
she's
too.
going to have her buddy there.
Right.
Because that to me would be the most frustrating part, is having to figure out the logistics of how am I going to do this? And I can't talk to anybody about it. And he really, look, I'm going to talk about Chris, but his character just comes up behind her and underneath her and just supports her throughout this movie. He supports her dreams. He pawns his watch so that they have money to spend in the past. I really was charmed by that.
By him or his character?
Well, both. Look, how good are Chris and Nikki in this movie?
Oh, they're fantastic.
Total stars. And I do think I love Chris. I'm really excited for his MGM project. I'm excited he's filming a Hallmark movie. I thought it was really interesting how the Merry Thanksgiving Weekend promos had Nikki and they're like, Chris is on location, and they would cut back and forth to him.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan. I loved this pairing. And I loved the storyline that they were lifelong friends who have just missed their chance.
Yes.
They're not exes. They've always been there for each other, and they're just realizing, or she's just realizing, he's always probably known who she is to him. But this is Nikki's story. This is Gentry's story. And I think Chris does a great job as an actor supporting Nikki and as a character supporting Gentry.
Yeah.
There's no push and pull, fight for the spotlight.
Yeah, their characters have this really comfortable, lived in friendship. It made it completely believable to me. Yeah, I just love them. I don't know what I expected going in. I was like you said, I wasn't like that excited for it. I was just like, okay.
No, they blew me away.
Yeah, blew me away.
Here's something that did surprise me. I really loved the setting at the Opry. I have not been to Nashville, but I now really want to go to the Opry. And I felt very drawn to the location as a character in the movie.
Yeah.
And I really was touched by the early scene where Sharon Lawrence, as adult Rita, is describing the significance of the wood flooring on stage from the original Ryman Auditorium. Something about that. I saw a clip of that before the movie aired. Normally, when I see a clip of a Hallmark movie, I'm not that interested. I'm going to be honest, I don't find Hallmark promo clips to be all that compelling, especially when they're like sneak peek. I'm like, that did nothing for the movie. I thought that was so touching. And then at the very end, when she gets to step into it and dedicate the song and then introduce Brad Paisley coming out to sing her song, I was really moved by the history of that place and how important it is to that country music community.
So a couple of things here. I remember talking about it on an episode. We were talking about this movie. I don't know. It must have been a headlines episode. And I was like, I've been to the Opry. I've toured the Opry. I have not. I've toured the Ryman.
Oh.
And so now understanding like, oh, these two work together, right? Okay, now I get it. Now the circle thing in the round, like the middle thing in the round, I remember Dave Grohl, who's the lead singer of Foo Fighters, did a really cool documentary. I think it was on HBO. I can't remember the name of it. I will find it and I will put it in our show notes. But he did this whole thing in Nashville and they talked about being in the round and like how the musicians like sit in this round circle. And like, I can't remember specifically if he was talking about this. Like, I don't remember. But when it got brought up in this movie, I was like, oh, this is ticking some boxes of things like I remember from the past. And like you, was super drawn to the history of it and wanted to know more. I thought it was very compelling.
Also, and speaking of country music, I'm a country music girl.
Yes.
I'm going to confess that I didn't know all the artists on site, but I did love all of the singing that we got and I liked all of the cameos, and I think it's very natural. I'm going to talk about it and Did You See About, the location a little bit more, but I love country. I wasn't expecting to like a movie about country music. I don't know why, but I did love all of the singing.
I'm going to throw something way back, and you probably don't know. You and I, we love like 90s country music. This movie nails the throwback vibes almost perfectly. First of all, our director can't be more than like 40 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I think she was probably born after 90s country music.
I loved when they walk into that party, the three of them, and Nikki's in that like sequin dress I burst out laughing because they look good, but they look ridiculous.
Oh, can we save it? We save it? Okay. My point is, do you remember the 1995 country music movie called Pure Country, and it has George Strait in it?
I do.
This movie reminded me of that. Like, if you were talking like...
They captured the vibe.
They captured the vibe perfectly. Look, go back and watch that movie. I think I've only seen it once. I don't know if it holds up. Couldn't even tell you what it's
love story,
about.
Right? It's that song, You Can Lead a Heart to Love, but You Can't Make It Fall, is in that movie.
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know, but there were things about this movie, the big hair, The mention of Shania Twain is in the room with us. Like that kind of stuff. The whole 90s country energy was spot on. And I loved it. I loved it. Loved it. Here are some other things that I liked. Rob Mays as Jet Wade, I thought was excellent casting. I was like, who's this guy? Like he played this 90s country dad so perfectly.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
He's not singing. It's Brad.
I don't know, actually. I know that's Brad Paisley's song.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't find it. But I asked my husband, I'm like, that's Brad singing as Jet Wade.
I Shazammed it, and it did come up as Brad Paisley.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I didn't realize Brad Paisley has 2 songs in this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that because Hallmark's been promoting the Hallmark Christmas song of the season, basically. Uh-huh. But there were 2 songs in this movie. Yeah. Which then I had to go onto Spotify and I was like, where can I listen to these? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I found them. You said you've never been to Nashville before?
No.
They had beautiful, gorgeous shots of the city. Mm-hmm. The Batman building. Mm-hmm. Like, you know that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I thought it was good. The backstage stuff at the Opry, like none of it felt fake to me.
Question. You've been to bars in Nashville or that opening scene where they're in Gentry's bar and those guys are in full country gear. Mm-hmm. Did that feel genuine to you? Like, are people really? They're like that country? Yeah. In the hats and that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
The city has so much tourism, but it also has so many locals too. So like, I mean, yes, there's people who are like kind of cosplaying a little bit like while they're there, but I've seen some real cowboys. Yeah. Not cowboys, but you know what I mean.
They're all in.
Yeah. Yeah. Did Gentry's dad know?
I don't know.
Part of me is like, feels like he did know that was her, especially at the end when he's like asking basically for confirmation. Like, was your dad a good dad? Yeah. Right.
Uncle Vaughn knows.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm like, well, and then the Aunt Rita, I was like, did she know? I don't know. Mm-hmm. I can't. And
did
honestly,
it bring you luck?
It doesn't even matter.
No.
It doesn't even matter to me. I just was curious what you thought. My biggest worry going into this movie, and you talked about it a little bit, were the cameos. I was very worried it was going to be like a parade of who do we have here? And like a full, remember me talking about it? Like it was going to be like a superstar extravaganza. And we got it a little bit in the Erin Cahill like tour scene.
Yeah, I liked it.
It was a little bit like behind this corner we have this, and oh my God, and here we have this, and this is not a wish. I was surprisingly not annoyed by it. I thought it was going to be like every second because the list was long of who was in it. Are you ready to move on to wishes?
I got none.
I have 2.
Okay.
Nikki's silver dress in that party scene was not it.
I looked at who the costume designer was because I was like, I don't know. They feel like they did their research.
Me too. But I also felt like that was a 90s interpretation of what like a country diva would wear. It leaned too costumey for me a little bit.
Yeah, I did feel like they came in costumes. I did laugh out loud when they walked into that party, the 3 of them. I just thought they were off the charts.
I thought I can't even remember. Sorry, Chris. I can't remember what Chris was wearing at all. Young Rita, I thought her look nailed 90s. Yeah. It was Nikki's, that dress was just, I was like, I don't, what is happening here? If they didn't have that like flower thing on the front of it, I think it could have maybe passed, but I don't know.
What's your other wish?
Somebody needs to check on the security guard. I felt bad for the man. These people are disappearing right in front of his eyes. It's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And even when Chris comes back, like he's just sitting there on the stage. Like nobody was like, where'd this dude come from?
By the way, do you know that security guard's name is Big Fella?
I did not.
That's how he's credited on IMDb. Big Fella. Yep.
That's all I have for my wishes. You have like 0?
Literally 0.
Great. Let's talk. Did you see that?
Yeah, I only have a couple.
Okay.
One I referenced. Chris wears a red and black shirt that he comes on screen. And I was like, look at that shirt. And my husband goes, that's Garth Brooks. And I was like, in pieces. And I had to Google it. And man, oh man. And I did Instagram story, who wore it better? And Chris responded, you got it. Now, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it feels like it had to have been. Feels like it had to have been.
Sure.
Who can see that shirt, 90s country, and not think that Garth Brooks album cover?
I LOL'd when I saw your Instagram. I was like, I didn't put the two together. Thank you for doing that. I thought it was great. One of my Did You See That's is when Gentry and Mac are baking cookies with the cousin, Rita. She's the cousin, right?
She's her dad's cousin, so
Correct.
she's her aunt, right?
Yeah, that's right. They make the cookie that I make every single year, which is a peanut butter blossom.
Oh, uh-huh. We just made them in our house.
You don't put the Hershey Kiss on the cookie before it goes in the oven.
I didn't even notice. Nope, it would be a melted puddle.
It was raw cookie dough. They pressed their thumbs in it to make the dent, and then they put the Hershey Kiss on, and then they put it in the oven, and that is not how you make them.
No, it is not.
You bake the cookie, you put the kiss on as soon as they come out of the oven, and that's how they get that shiny look too.
Yeah, and that's when they're best, is when they're just out of the oven and their chocolate's melty on top of it.
Yes.
It's actually the only time I like them. Once the chocolate has hardened back into a kiss. And
Not into it, huh? I have more.
Yeah.
Mac's grandma is named Hilty, the writer, or she's not the writer. She's
one of the writers.
one of the writers is also named Hilty. I like when you put your own name in it.
Mm-hmm.
My next Did You See That and final one is also about the name Gentry. Kind of love this name. Love this character name. And I was like, well, it has to have some sort of like country reasoning, some sort of connection. So I looked it up. I don't know. This is all I found. There was a female artist in the U.S. in the late 60s who rose to fame, and her name was Bobby Gentry. She was a songwriter. And I thought, maybe. And then in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a country duo group named Montgomery Gentry.
Sure.
But this would have been like later. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
But yeah, maybe they took inspiration from that.
Yeah. Do you have any other Did You See That?
Yeah, I have a couple. They're not Did You See That? They're just fun facts. I really enjoyed the tributes that Nikki and Chris did to each other on their Instagram, throwing it back to their first project together, North Shore, many, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
Also, I thought this was very interesting. I read an interview with Nikki talking about filming at the Opry, and the Opry was still functioning daily as they were filming. So she says her call time would be 9 p.m. for hair and makeup. We wouldn't be able to start shooting until after the tours backstage were done and the show was over. Sometimes that would be 11, and sometimes that would be midnight. Then we would shoot all the way until the next day at 11 a.m., go home, get a few hours of sleep, and go back. So when I tell you that it was the hardest schedule that any of us has ever worked, and everybody did it with such an incredible attitude and joy in their hearts. As hard as it was, there was not one single complaint on that set.
That's nice.
Did you notice our friend Denise in the movie?
No. There were a lot of...
A ton. I wonder where she was. Denise, message us so we can go back and catch you.
Yeah.
There is an extended cut on Hallmark Plus.
I tried to watch it, and Hallmark Plus was being buggy.
Oh, Hallmark Plus was not working for me last night either. And I didn't want to watch it for this review because I didn't want to have scenes that not everybody had seen.
Yeah.
But I may go back and look because I heard there were some good additional scenes there. Well, I think we've given it away. What did you rate A Grand Ole Opry Christmas?
I gave it a 5-star.
Worried me there for a second. 5 stars.
Good stuff.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, tell a friend. It's the best way you can support this show. We'd love to see you share your favorite episode, share a recent episode on Blue Sky, on Threads, on Instagram, on Facebook. Tell a friend about Girls Gone Hallmark, because the number of times we hear people go, oh my gosh, I love Hallmark movies. I didn't realize there were Hallmark movie podcasts. Tell your friends. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.